Thank you all so much for clicking on this video. Today I have Farmhouse Valentine's Day crafts. Now let's get crafting. We are going to be using this upholstery binding burlap ribbon, some red fabric, and some twine. Start by cutting out about 5 inches of this ribbon, and then once you've got 5 inches, go ahead and cut a dovetail at the bottom. This is such a quick and fast and high impact decor piece. You can hang it anywhere in your home. I love banners personally. I think they're so beautiful if you put them at the top of a hutch and you put them in front of cabinets or on a fireplace. You can even put them above your front door. I think that they are just so pretty to hang up for any holiday. So you can see once I've gotten them all cut out, I'm now going to take some fabric, some cute little red hearts that I cut by just folding fabric in half and cutting that shape. And now I'm going to just take my time gluing it down. You can see that I glued down one side of the heart first, pulled it over, and glued down the other side. That's so you just don't burn your fingers trying to move around that little heart. It's kind of a funny shape. Now I'm going to take some twine. I'm going to fold the end in half and do a simple loop knot. And this is so we have something nice to be able to hang it up with on a nail somewhere in your home. And then now I'm going to take that ribbon, and I'm calling this ribbon. I know it's called something else, but I'm just going to call it ribbon because it looks like a ribbon at this point. I'm going to add some zigzag glue back and forth so that way it binds really well on here. Now you can pick this ribbon up at many different craft stores like Joann's and Hobby Lobby. They do have some stuff like that. If you have any upholstery stores around you, I'm going to link the one that I found from Amazon down below. That's where I got mine. Once you're done putting that glue on, clip it with some clips to make sure it bonds nicely together, and then you're going to just keep working all the way down the line. I did about 10 on mine, and then once I got to the very end, I did another knot, and my last one I came back in over that knot to conceal the look. And at this point, you can hang it up anywhere in your home. It is so adorable, such high impact, and has such a vintage farmhouse look to it. This DIY is going to be using this new Shiplap heart, some paper, text paper, and some florals. It's really easy to do, and honestly I think this ended up being my favorite project in this whole video because I just love how it turned out. It was so simple to make and it was so pretty. So I'm just using some hot glue. I'm gluing down my paper onto the heart, and then I'm just pushing with my nail along the edge to rip it, coming back in with a piece of sandpaper, sanding along the edges to rough it, and it gives a nice clean cut when you do it that way. This is the quick way to do it instead of having to trace a piece of paper and cut it out. This is one of my favorite tricks. Once I got all of the paper onto the heart, I came in with my dry brushing skills and I just dry brushed around the edge. I know this is debatable. Some people don't like the dry brushing bringing in that brown texture. You don't have to do that part. You can completely skip that part. And then at this point, I'm adding in some of the greenery, some of the florals, and I think pink and yellow together are just so pretty. So that's kind of the color scheme I'm going with this one. Maybe this is the reason why I liked this one the most, I don't know, but I just love how this turned out. So I'm adding in some more greenery and 3 roses, and then all of these little rose buds. They're just so adorable. I love this rose so much. It comes in a whole bunch of different colors. There is even a really pretty purple one and an ivory cream one. There are so many pretty colors on these little roses. Then once I had all of that situated how I liked, I went ahead and took the original string that was on it, and I'm just going to thread on some beads at the top. And then once I've got enough beads on it, I'm going to go ahead and stick that back into the hole so that I can hang it up somewhere in a home. I think this is going to go in my daughter's room because it's just so cute and it matches the colors of her room. Everything for this project is from the Dollar Tree except for this little wagon, but you definitely could DIY this with some of their little wooden crates. But I found this little wagon in the Dollar Plus section. We are going to take some foam first, and I'm putting hot glue on the sides and adding this Spanish moss to the sides because you can see the wagon has these little slits in it. We don't want to see that foam, and that's going to help conceal it on the sides. Once I have some on the sides, I'm now going to go ahead and come in with more of the glue and the Spanish moss to cover it up. This project is so quick and it is just so adorable. I love fast projects like this because you feel like you're crafting without spending a lot of time on projects. This is great for anyone who's a new crafter or wants to craft with their kids. Once you've got your Spanish moss all over the top of that, go ahead and take these darling glitter hearts that are on stakes from the Dollar Tree, cut them down to different heights, and just poke them right down into that foam, creating a darling little heart display. It only took you about 10 minutes to make. This DIY is so fast, if you blink, you'll miss it. I'm going to take these two signs from the Dollar Tree and then two of these long sticks, these painter sticks that you can get at your home improvement store. And I'm going to just make a line mark on it so I know the length that I want for my sign. Then I'm going to simply just cut them down. After I've got that cut down, I'm going to take some hot glue, and you can use wood glue for this too, but I'm going to use hot glue because that's what I had at reach length. Normally I would use wood glue, but this time I didn't. And I'm just going to glue that right on here. And the reason why I felt comfortable just doing the hot glue because I came underneath and I used my staple gun, and right at those joints it was wide enough on the word to be able to catch my staple from my staple gun. So I'm just doing two staples at each connecting joint to really secure them. And I love the way that the love looked, so I kept that one as the neutral wood. But then I thought it would be really pretty to add a color to the XO. So I ended up going with a pretty corally, soft pink kind of color. And then with the wood one, I really liked it being raw because it says love and I can use it all year long. This project is so fun to make. I'm going to take this Christmas stand decor piece. I'm going to twist off that metal star. I did use my pliers to loosen up the first twist, and then after that it came off really easy. And then I am going to take some hot glue and these candy conversation hearts. Now I did buy this jumbo bag of these on Amazon a while back, and I'm always picking at them and using them for projects. But I will tell you that you can end up, just purchasing these at a regular store. You can get a couple bags of them, but I ended up getting a really good deal just buying it in a big old bulk bag like this. But it's kind of funny. My kids constantly keep wanting to come down and eat these, and I'm like, guys, these are like a year old. Anyway, I'm going to start by going around the first row of my cone triangle shape. Once I've got that in there and they all fit nice, you're going to notice it is going to start getting skinnier and skinnier, and eventually you're going to have one or two less hearts as you get up to the top around your rings. When you get to the very top, at this point you can decorate it however you want, but I decided to do 3 bows. I thought the 3 bows were so beautiful with all of their ribbons coming down. Once I had all of my bows in place, I wanted to finish off the very, very top, so I added on a little wood nub at the very top. I just picked these little pieces up from Hobby Lobby in their wood craft section, popped that on the top, and I just think it looks adorable. This is so cute to put on a shelf for Valentine's Day. This DIY is super simple, and these heart grapevine wreaths, they're like mini wreaths, but they're grapevines is what they're calling them at the Dollar Tree. These are the cutest thing they came out with this whole Valentine's Day season. I love these hearts. I'm obsessed with them. So I thought this would be the cutest thing to turn into a cute banner. You can honestly do anything you want with these, but I just love how they looked all strung up together. I took some gingham ribbon, bound them together, and then now I'm going to add on some roses, some of the greenery, and a bow. I thought putting these in between the hearts would look really darling, and it's super simple to do. Easy project without spending a lot of time on it. So I went ahead and just cut the greenery down to size that I needed. And I also love these flowers. These are also new this season. I love them so much. They're so cute. I love how dainty the flowers are. And then I added my greenery, my bow, my heart. And then on the end, I'm going to take a long piece of this ribbon. I'm going to fold it over just like I did to all the halfway points in between the hearts. Glue that little part down, and then I'm going to string on some wooden beads. I love using wooden beads, and I thought this would be a really pretty touch at the end of this darling little garland that you can hang up somewhere in your home. So once you've got that knot on there, you can see I folded it in half and knotted it, and then I cut off the extra and glue into place. I found these wooden hearts at the Dollar Plus section at the Dollar Tree. They're $3 each. And I also had this wood stair rail on hand. I'm first going to figure out how tall I want the bottom two trays to be apart and cut those down with my miter box. Then I'm going to figure out with this extra piece how tall I want the top of the stand to be for the tiered tray we're going to be making. So I'm just measuring how tall I want it to be, and I'm going to cut that down as well. Now I will say, if you have a saw, I would definitely recommend doing that instead of the miter box, but I love my miter box because sometimes I don't want to go out to the garage to cut everything on the big machine. So I did that first, and now I'm drilling some holes. 2 holes in the middle of the bottom of the heart boxes, and then I'm going to drill some holes on both sides of our stair railing that we cut down, these 2 pieces, and this is so that we can make it stronger. I am not a fan of just putting wood glue and hot glue without having some kind of a joint in the middle of all of these. So you can see here what I'm going to do next. I'm going to start at the very bottom of my first heart, and I'm using these cute spindles from ribbon or twine or thread. I actually buy these at Hobby Lobby in their wood section, and I'm adding on some hot glue and some wood glue because I like how both of them work together. And then I'm going to add in a shish kebab stick. This is going to be the thing that we're going to be threading everything through, and it's going to make it so much stronger because it's going to be able to help everything bind. So once I've got that first one in the middle, I'm going to come back in on the bottom, and I'm going to add 4 more of these little spools, and I'm going to just put them so that they're the supportive legs on the bottom of the tray. Now I cut down my shish kebab stick, and I added on more of that same glue pattern, hot glue and wood glue, and I came on with my stair railing. Got that glued in place, then I went to the next spot. Now I'm going at the top of that stair railing. So now I'm going to just put in my next stick, follow the same glue process, and now I'm going to put on the top. This sounds complicated, but it really is so simple. It is incredible how much they charge for these trays when you can make them for pennies. I mean, well, a couple bucks, because the 2 trays are $6 together, and then you add on the stair railing, which I had on hand, and a couple of these little wood pieces, so maybe like $8 at the most. I would say that it cost me to make this, and if you tried to buy something like this at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's, these are easily 30 to 50 bucks. So I'm going to make mine for about $7-8. Now I'm just coming in with my paint, and I painted the inside of the trays a solid white and the spindle white, but on the outsides I wanted to keep them looking more rustic farmhouse. So I kind of did a chunky brush across, wanting to still see that wood coming through, so it's got that rustic farmhouse. And then now I'm just coming in with some distressing paint, which is a very dark brown, and I'm very lightly brushing it on. And after that, it's ready to be used however you would like, and it is the cutest tiered tray. So we're going to have some of these stacking blocks, some of these little wood beads, a heart, and some twine. Now you can get all of these things from the Dollar Tree except for those wooden beads. I buy those online on Amazon. I'll link them down below so you can find them. Now I'm going to take some of these blocks and I'm going to cut them down because these are going to represent the different heights of our family members. So I cut them down to different sizes that would represent each person. Funny enough, a somber fact, I'm actually taller than my husband, and we like it that way. And so he's the one that's on the far right here, you can see in the video, and I'm the white one, and then the darkest one is my oldest son, and then my next son Calvin, and then Miriam at the end. I glued them all together, and then I wrapped them with some twine. And then on the front side, I added a cute little heart. And then the tricky part is the heads. Now you can see here that I have some toothpicks. I decided instead of just gluing on the heads where they can pop off really easy, I wanted this to last for a long time. I drilled holes in the top of each one of them. But the tricky part is when you add on more people, you're trying to make sure the beads are all going to fit on the top without bumping into each other too much. So I definitely recommend taking your time and gluing them on. I put this little toothpick down in here because I wanted to make sure that it was going to allow the bead to have something to hold on to and to be nice and snug on there. Once I had that one on, I kept working my way over, making sure each one was secured and spaced out well enough. And you can see if you look at the person right in the middle, that one's kind of shifted a little bit more to the left because it couldn't be centered on just the way that the height of these little blocks were. I tied a little bow. I decided to add a little bow to my daughter's because I thought, why not? She's super girly. And I added that onto a toothpick, snuck that down inside, and it was ready for me to display on my shelf. We're going to start with taking this decor piece that has a nice base on it so we don't have to worry about building that. And then we're going to take this Hello Love Valentine sign and we're going to combine them together. You could always build this base, and I have built many of these bases before in the past here on my videos, but I loved showing this particular project because it's so fast. Sometimes you might not like the look of a decor piece at the Dollar Tree, and all you have to do is make sure you have a nice base on something and you can mount on a completely different look by adding a different sign. So you can see here that I took off the bow, and now all I'm simply doing is adding some greenery up at the top, some florals, some leaves, a darling little bow, and you've got yourself a brand new holiday sign. This project is going to look complicated, but it is so fast and so easy as well. We are going to take 3 of these very fun and festive hearts, something I wouldn't normally work with here on my channel, but I had this idea, and then 3 of these wooden hearts. Start by painting the hearts white. Once you've got those all covered up with white, you're then going to take some of the stickers or vinyl, whatever you have on hand, to create love, hug, kiss. We're going to be making a conversation heart wall door decor piece. And I say wall or door because it just depends on where you want to hang it up. But if you want to hang it up outside, I highly recommend covering your stickers with some Mod Podge. I would also recommend using the matte Mod Podge because it'll have a nice clean finish versus it being too glossy. Then once those are dry, take some hot glue. On the back side, you're going to see that there is a smaller heart on that plastic wreath form. Add a bunch of glue, line up your word kiss inside of that space, love, hug. Line them all up, and don't worry if there's a little bit of overhang. I had that on mine too, but we're going to cover that up with ribbons and stuff. Now we're going to come into the back, make sure your hearts are straight, using some of these stir sticks, these paint stir sticks, and glue it all together. You can secure it if you want to put a staple gun through. Just make sure the staple doesn't go through the front side of your heart, but I'm going to just use hot glue. Now I'm going to come in with some bows. I'm going to put those right where I put the joints with my painter sticks, and you can just see that I was zhuzhing around that bow until I got it the way I wanted it to look. And now we're going to come in with some of these darling hearts on a stick, and I'm going to pop off 3 of the hearts. Those are going to go in the middle of my bow. Once I've got those all done and glued in place, then we're going to just start embellishing it however we want. This piece is such an impact piece, and it's just so fun to put on a door somewhere. Your front door, maybe on your pantry door, whatever it might be. Add on some greenery to make it have more of that spring Valentine's look. And then to cover up those painter sticks, because that's kind of not pretty, we're going to take some ribbon, and we are going to cut down that ribbon so that we can have a nice polished finished look on the back. And after that, I just added in a couple of leaves to make it look more full and green, and you've got yourself the cutest thing to hang up on your door. I hope you felt inspired by this video today. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It means so much to me every time you do. And if you're not getting notified for my videos, check your notifications and make sure you go back into my gallery and maybe watch 1 or 2 videos. That stimulates the algorithm and lets it know that you're interested in my content, and that is going to wake up your algorithm for your channel recommendations. All right, and until the next episode, bye friends.